Welcome back to Primetime Super Friends, the show that promises to put the arrow in your quiver, the flash in your pan, and for the last fucking time ever, put the bat in your belfry. We're also here to let criminals know that we are the swinging wing of justice, and it's not gonna suck itself, crime. I'm Jeremy, your guide to all things Star City, and I'm joined by my own super friend. First, our guide to Gotham, again for the last fucking time, John.
No, it's over.
And our expert on all things related to the fastest man alive, Michael.
Hi, bitches.
Before we dive balls deep into this week's happenings, you should be warned that this show is full of spoilers. So if you're not up to date on what's been going on, you've been warned. Alright, let's get started. First up this week, we're going to take a trip over to Central City and talk about the Flash.
Okay, so we start this week's episode with Iris trying to deal with finding out that her best friend is the Flash. If you don't remember, she now knows that thanks to her shocking encounter at the end of last week's episode.
You feel good about that?
Yes.
You shouldn't.
I should, and I do.
Unless, like, when they touched hands, they were doing the shocker.
Oh, see, now that wouldn't have been gay. That would have been super
I know,
cool.
that would have been amazing. They did our secret handshake?
Yeah. It's made it.
He's the Flash, I know.
No one else knows that. We invented it. Fuck!
She tries to get Barry to admit to being the Flash without just coming out and asking him. And of course...
Because she's a woman and a cunt.
Yep, and her face takes a quick turn for the cunty when Barry doesn't fess up and instead tells her to trust the Flash, which she admits she has a hard time doing. So he tells her to trust him instead.
And she made another cunt face. She was extra cunty in this episode. I would say she was a super cunt level.
Oh, she is.
I would like to point out, because I think this all the time, like, I don't feel like any of this is the actress's fault. Like, she's pretty, she's good to look at,
definitely.
and she acts just fine. I wish they would write her better because I want to like the character.
Yeah,
because
I like
about
her. She
no.
real pleasant.
But that's what
I
I just want to point out is, like, she seemed like, I mean, like, I like her. I don't like the way they write Iris.
Yeah, it makes you really dislike the character a lot.
And you're not supposed to.
Nope.
Yeah, that I think that's what astounds me. You're not supposed to dislike
That's probably
her.
the Flash's biggest problem. And that's a minor problem compared to some shit that Gotham and lately Arrow have been having.
Absolutely, yeah.
We get our first bad guy moment of the episode. He's trying to seal up all the gold in the city. Barry rushes in to intervene, but is brought to his knees by piercing squills and distorted images of syringes and people in surgical masks.
I'm sorry, it sounds like he's getting ready to take a dick in his mouth.
When he gets brought to his knees?
Drops to his knees and he sees a bunch of phallic objects.
That metahuman will happen. The mouth fucker.
But if I had psychic ability...
The bad guy appears to be affected by whatever is going on as well, but recovers before Barry is able to, and escapes. Barry goes back to Star Labs to figure out what the fuck's up, and surprise, surprise, Iris walks in and drops knowledge that she knows Barry is a lying piece of shit. She doesn't quite say it in those words, but it was written all over her face.
Neck and chest.
Barry and Iris go back and forth over his secret as Caitlin and Cisco spy like a couple of creeps with the cameras they have in their lab. During Barry and Iris going back and forth, Barry keeps slipping up and tells her shit she had no clue about. The fact that Eddie knows who he is, Dr. Wells is the Reverse Flash, and Joe knows Barry's secret as well. Dun dun dun.
Cones.
I hate you guys because I heard that in some TV show the other day, and I'm like, sons of bitches.
This all comes to a head as Iris is chilling after hours at her job at Central City Picture News. And her dad walks in with his tail between his legs, knowing that she's about to tear him a new asshole for keeping all these secrets from him.
Whoa. We didn't watch the same show.
You didn't? I kind of drift off sometimes when I'm watching it.
I did not see any asshole ripping.
About to.
Oh.
That would be weird. Like, does she just pick him up like a phone book and it's like, oh, metahuman.
In my mind.
Metahuman, yeah.
Including the fact that the Reverse Flash killed Mason Bridge. During this banter back and forth, it seems like she's more pissed off about the fact that Joe didn't tell her how Barry felt, putting all the blame of Eddie's kidnapping squarely on his shoulders. We get our next interaction with our armored up, gold thieving bad dude, and they've set a trap hoping to bring his gold stealing days to an end. Barry is able to knock the dude out, and when they take his mask off, we find that it is none other than General Eileen, who the last time we saw him was getting mind-fucked by a gorilla in the sewers.
Just here, come on, Eileen. And then I see someone skeeting on this motherfucker.
They take him back to the evil metahuman lockup, and in shitty gorilla speak, Eileen drops knowledge that Barry's the Flash. Eileen is bad, and Caitlin is good. They don't know what's up, but clearly dude's fucked up in the head, and eventually reveals who he is with a sinister, "I am Grodd, fear me." We find out that during Eileen's, I can't help but hear that fucking song now.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, I was doing the same thing.
We find out that during Eileen's horrible experiments on Grodd, he was trying to create super soldiers with telepathic and telekinetic capabilities, and that Wells shut it down when he found out what the General was up to. Apparently, if you take up a particle accelerator explosion and add it to a pissed-off lab rat monkey, you get the makings for a super fucked-up supervillain. And thanks to Caitlin and science, we find out that Grodd and Eileen have some sort of psychic link, and that Wells and Grodd are working together.
Again, though, like they say that Wells was the one that stopped him from being, tortured, essentially, which makes you go, he's still not really a bad guy. I mean, like, it's not like he's evil, except he's kind of evil.
Even evil motherfuckers like animals.
True.
Yeah, super fucked up people don't like animals.
Exactly.
Iris pops up again, and she's all like, "I'm on Team Star Labs now, bitches, and you're taking my help whether you like it or not." Plus, there's reports of some animal in the sewers. Hey, there's reports of some animal in the sewer, and you guys should go check that shit out. So, armed with a banana, Joe, Barry, and Cisco head to the sewers to go gorilla hunting. And thanks to the writing on the wall, teehee, they learn that Grodd's intelligence is evolving. And thanks to Cisco's roughly 12th movie reference, this time being about Jurassic Park, we see ripples in the water and know that either Jeremy's wang is present or Grodd's about to lay the smackdown.
You feel good that that's now associated with your dick?
I am so okay with it.
I just hate if we go see Jurassic World this summer and they call back to that. I'm going to be like, damn it.
I love that there's, in theory, women listening to this.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It's gotta be true, goddammit. Someone's gonna come up and just grab your junk.
Are they sexy?
Does that matter? Does that make it rape or not?
If they're sexy, I'll allow it.
See, that's what I figured. It's still rape.
Not if I'll allow it. Don't you listen?
I don't. Well, just like that, Joe gets snatched up by Grodd, not Jeremy's dick, and carried away.
I just picture like an elephant trunk.
It's like wrapping around.
No, then it talked in my head. It was like, Cisco.
Gross. And a pretty badass moment, Grodd walks up to Joe.
Or it just makes the Tyrannosaurus sound.
I feel like that's now my superhero or supervillain persona. The anaconda.
Not a bad one to have. Oh, yeah.
It'd be Tyrannosaurus Erex.
Nice.
Damn it. Sorry.
Wearing one of those, like, fucking gay-looking Barney costumes, basically, but with a huge fucking codpiece.
Oh, now we have your superhero. That's awesome. Better stay away from me. Rip that bitch off.
But you wouldn't be able to. That's like the one thing you can't conquer. It's too fucking big.
Oh,
Can't get my
man,
arms around it.
See, like...
God, now I'd have to try. I can't be beat.
See,
And then it just ends up looking like you're just humping it. 'Cause you can't
it went like the other way in my head where it's high budget action movie and it's like the superhero like pinnacle moment where it's Michael and I or whatever, like you bunker down and get into that shit and then you hear Jeremy's dick roaring in the distance and he comes into frame and that's when the bad guy's like, oh shit, and Michael turns, kicks off your cod piece and the dick just falls into frame.
Yeah.
Oh man, that hurts. Well, in other superhero news.
And in the background, my anaconda don't.
My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't. My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
And it's like you're just you turning, making the dinosaur shit, knocking over buildings with your dick.
Oh man.
And everything's just white.
end of Ghostbusters?
And
That's
there's like a
awesome.
trail where the balls are dragging.
I mean, like verbatim, it's the guy that's
Yep.
the villain, like standing there yelling at your dick, and then just covered in white stuff.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
Grodd walks up to Joe, and it seems like he's about to mind fuck Joe into shooting himself, but stops at the last moment, stating that father hates guns.
I did like that. Like he could acknowledge fuck guns.
Yep.
You know what? I actually like. I honestly damn it, I'm so bad with names. The guy that plays Joe acted his balls off with that. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he looked genuinely afraid. Like,
Petrified.
that made me, like, feel, like, whole, you know? Like, he looked so scared
I'd
that
go
he was
far-
about to blow his own brains out.
Yep.
I'd go as far as to say that acting performance kind of saved this episode.
I felt like it was a big thing. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
like, seriously, it's a lot of the time when I watch these shows, I've got something else going on, or I'm working on the computer or whatever, but, like, that was one of those scenes that you just can't take your eyes off the TV.
Yep.
Well, because
And he could shoot himself too, and then Barry would have to go back in time to save him or something. You don't know that it's not going to fucking happen.
Quite honestly, we don't know if that would have just been how it happened. I mean, like, it could go that dark out of nowhere.
Well, that would change the newspaper though, because in the newspaper it says that he's the police chief.
Right, that's true. That's right.
But then he followed that up in a pretty offensive moment, or at least something I would consider offensive. If I was a super ape, Joe offers Grodd the banana to try to calm him down.
Yeah.
And Grodd flips the fuck out. Back at Star Labs, the team, plus Iris, is trying to figure out what they're going to do to save Joe. And in a moment of, this is why we don't tell you shit, bitch, Iris uses her metahuman powers and turns into Super Cunt, questioning their abilities to save Eddie and Joe. Her dad playing Super Cop, and then brings up old shit, the fact that Barry hid his Flash persona from her.
she's a woman. She doesn't let
Right.
shit go.
Luckily, Barry is able to silence her with a little bit of verbal cunt kryptonite by telling her that she's been lying to him too about her feelings.
Oh, snap.
I fucking typed oh snap. Back to the playful banner for just a minute or so between Eddie and Wells. The Reverse Flash fucks with Eddie, telling him that he is the only failure in the family, and that he doesn't even wind up with Iris, and that she marries Barry. And I put oh snap times 2.
Oh, snaps.
Did I put an S? Oh fuck, I put an S.
Get out of my head, Grodd.
That's racist. Call me a monkey.
Yes.
And I want to make
Leave me for dinner.
Leave that in. Okay, back at Star Labs, they get an alert that Grodd is on the move, and Barry grabs his anti-mindfuck headband that they've created and takes off to face his new foe. Okay, they try out his supersonic punch that was effective against Girder, but Grodd's no bitch and catches Barry's hand in mid-stride and tosses Barry to the ground. The anti-mindfuck device is doing its thing, and Barry tries to punch Grodd, all fast-like, but once again gets snatched up and thrown through a wall. This time stopping the anti-mindfucking, paralyzing Barry on some train tracks. And oh fuck, here comes a train. Thankfully, Iris is now on the team, and she's able to get Barry to cool the fuck out, enabling him to dodge the train just in the nick of time, causing Grodd to leap into action. And by action, I mean he jumps in front of the fucking train and gets carried off. Back at the Super Gel, Barry releases General Eileen, and Dewdrop's knowledge that he's known Barry's identity all along, and that he's got no beef with Barry, and it's his turn to go gorilla hunting. Joe makes peace with Iris, and she seems to forgive him after Joe agrees to always tell her the truth. Team Star Labs is able to deduce that Wells used Grodd as a distraction, and that they were able to defeat the super monkey without the help of Wells. Hell of an ego boost there. And then we get another touchy-feely scene with Barry and Iris, with Barry admitting that she's always been a part of his life, even with all the secrets, and she finally admits that she's been thinking of him too, but even though she's a cunt, she's no trifling bitch, and they've got to save Eddie, leaving their love story up in the air. Then we finish off the episode back to Eddie and Wells. The Reverse Flash has acquired some type of key, and when he plugs it in, shit lights up, and Wells says it's time to go home.
So he's going to release all the humans, right?
So it'll be amazing. Yeah.
would be an excuse to bring in,
Firestorm,
Super team up.
Arrow, probably Adam and Arsenal and whoever else.
Yeah.
like this episode, but Grodd didn't talk. I didn't like that.
They said that he's rapidly evolving, so I'm hoping that comes in time.
I'm assuming that'll be the case.
I was really hoping for like the one word drop though, or something where he was just like Grodd.
Exactly.
Something. Yeah. So I didn't know if that was like maybe a budget thing where animating his face would have been too much, but hopefully.
And he kind of stuck to the shadows a lot, which probably was also.
I mean, it looked good. I mean, So I hope that comes in time. I understand what they're doing with the telekinesis, and that's fine, or telepathy. But I'm with you. I want to see it talk, and I want it to be articulate. Which, assuming this show goes for years,
We'll transition from an awesome show that's still got a couple episodes left to a piece of shit show that is finally fucking done. John's going to talk to us about Gotham.
I'd just like to point out on several episodes, I have asked anybody to write into our email, primetimesuperfriends@gmail.com, and tell us if this is worth still talking about. We haven't had anybody do it.
Goddamn crickets.
So that is why we're sticking to it. We're finishing out the season and moving on from it. But man, it's just... All right, let's get this out of the way. We left off last week with Maroni going on like a crazy killing spree and trying to take over Gotham. Falcone gets shot and he's in the hospital. Penguin goes to the hospital and is like, "Surprise, bitch, this is all my plan." Which, why would you do that? Why? It doesn't even make sense unless, he's supposed to... anyways. Okay, so that happened. He then moves in and he's going to kill Falcone, but Jim Gordon shows up and he stops him. Again, so we know, I don't know, Penguin's evil, and he's apparently just letting everybody know it. Instead of being smart and going into hiding and just letting shit all hit the fan. Gordon shows up, he rescues Falcone, and he's like, "You're not the worst option here, so we're going to side with you, man. Just come with us," even though he's half dead. They get into a lot of gunfire, and Bullock shows up, and he gets involved with it. We have Fish come back. Okay, so last time we saw Fish, she was, shot flying away in a helicopter, and I guess we just totally decided that didn't happen.
She's fucking perfectly fine.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't even acknowledge it. They were just like, she's got a gang and a new haircut.
I'm glad she's back.
And
only because of the end, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, so she's back. She got a new haircut, and
the bitch is back.
She's like, "Hey, cat girl, you want to be in my gang?" And she's like, "Sure, and I'll get a haircut too."
That was so fucking random.
It was literally just an excuse to pigeonhole them into the episode.
Yeah,
is
we don't
what
have
I felt
anything
like.
else to do with fucking Selena this episode. So let me just dyke her hair up and shove her into this scene.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I'm sticking by it.
That's okay. Nobody listens to this show.
Exactly. No, I mean, seriously, what was up with the fucking spiked hair?
I don't know. It didn't even make sense because it didn't fit Fish's character. And Selena, it was like, are we supposed to go, "Oh no, now she's on a dark path"?
Yes.
I mean, which she already was.
Towards lesbianism.
So, well, it's how it is in the comics now.
That's why I think they did it. I'm not just...
Anyway, so they all gang up together.
We've seen Fish likes bitches.
I'm going to derail here for a second. We did get Edward Nygma this week, and he's basically going way insane. I thought it was to a point that it's not the same character anymore.
Yeah. They jumped way too far ahead.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. I liked the character when he was quirky. I didn't think it always fit where they fit him into the show, but he's just completely insane now. It was spazzing out, and
it was one of the only okay parts of the show. Was that
to
character.
me
the slow evolution of it would have been fine, but they went from slow. Okay, killed somebody, but he's still pretty much the same. I'm a monster now.
Right, and I always felt like the Riddler was socially awkward but very smart and calculated. This made him look like he was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde-ish, and I don't. Again, rushing into things. Why are we rushing? If you're planning on this show lasting,
well, according to the previous season 2, he's going to be one of the major villains.
I missed that.
So he's going to be the Riddler before Batman ever comes around?
No, the kid's going to be Batman next season.
Oh, well, we'll get to that.
God damn.
Right.
I'm trying not to just be a dick and shit all over this.
Let's just shit all over it. I don't even think you have to read through the episode. Let's shit all over it.
Well, I need to point everything out.
Some motherfuckers shot each other.
We had the side story with Barbara and Leslie, and Barbara's just flat out insane. Right?
That entire...
She was like, you come to my house, you give me therapy and help me work through these issues. We find out she killed her parents and she's batshit crazy. That whole thing was like, why? I don't understand it. I don't understand where that's going. And I don't know if you guys even thought about it, just because we do fit everybody in, but what the hell happened to the two detectives that were a big part of everything?
Oh, yeah.
They're just gone.
Yeah.
I fucking forgot about them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they drop and they bring back things and it doesn't make sense. I mean, to get to the summary of this, so that happens and Jim stops them from fighting and they're like, oh, she's fucking crazy. So how do you can't redeem that character.
The whole thing was stupid.
She killed her parents. She was okay with killing her parents. Then she tried to kill Leslie. So where does Batgirl come out of all this?
Well,
you're not going to name her Barbara, are you?
Maybe, did Leslie kill her? I mean, that was ambiguous. Maybe they name her after her in her memory.
I don't think she was dead. I really don't think she was dead.
I don't think so either, but I wouldn't be totally
But to
shocked.
name her in their memory, that's fucking crazy too. Anyways, they go to a warehouse. There's going to be this big gang fight where everybody's, biting for power. We've got Penguin, Maroney, Falcone, and Fish shows up. And, Falcone, Bullock, and Jim get captured. They're tied up. And Jim's like, hey, help me out, Catgirl. And she's like, fuck you, because I'm edgy now. And she's like, this is like a sweet gig, yo, for reals. And then it gets real because Fish shoots Maroney in the head. That did surprise me. I didn't expect him to die.
He kept
in this episode.
saying babes or whatever. That shit was obvious.
But she pulls out a gun, shoots him in the head. Shit gets really crazy. There's gunfire and everybody's fighting. Fish ends up running out of the building. It's her and Penguin, and there's this big standoff. Long story short, they decide that Butch all of a sudden is brainwashed again.
Yeah, after being perfectly fine for many episodes.
Right.
Not needing any persuasion to do shit.
Long story short, they're like, hey, shoot him. And Fish is like, I love you. And Penguin tells Butch to shoot her, so he just shoots them both. Fish gets pushed off of a building. Penguin's like, I'm king of the world, Titanic style.
Seriously, exactly like that.
Which is fine, but it's like, I get it, but that was probably the least Penguin I've seen him act all season. Like, it was
fucking stupid, and they left Fish's death ambiguous, and that pissed me off.
That really made me mad, because I think she's still alive.
Yep.
I think that's, because I had this theory going into it, that since Jada Pinkett came out so early and was like, yeah, I was just signed on for one season, that...
Really, she's going to pop back up.
Exactly. Yep. Maybe
And it might not be for 2 seasons.
Well,
or some shit.
I think it'll be next season, but I think it'll be
probably.
for a limited amount of episodes. Like, it's not going to be all season.
Yeah, she ain't dead.
So she's not dead. Yeah, so anyways, the Alfred and Bruce interaction, which has kind of been my favorite thing they've done this season, if you can call it anything a favorite from this show.
You shouldn't.
It was too erratic. Like, Bruce was like yelling and like overacting. Like, I like the kid. I think he's a good Bruce
he's
Wayne.
Been awesome so far.
But I felt like he was bad in this episode, and the story was so weird. With they're looking for clues as to what's up with his dad. He finally realizes that Wayne Manor, and the one room that it is, must have some kind of secret something somewhere left over from his dad. He associates it with...
There are other rooms in this mansion.
Right. So he is... Yeah. What they didn't show was he also found the kitchen and the living room and a bedroom somewhere where Alfred, I guess, hangs out the rest of the time. What was it? He associated his dad with Marcus Aurelius and uses the book as a clue, and they find a secret passage behind the fireplace that leads down to a bat cave.
Dun, dun, dun. End of episode.
And I'm like...
horrible.
Yeah.
This is something that should have been slowly plotted out and done in like 5-10 seasons. Or they age him up and they have him find it then. This was
he could have
just...
fallen into the cave like he did in Batman Begins, and I'd have been down with that. To discover a secret staircase that his dad used to hide secrets or whatever. The fuck is he going to do? Walk down there and discover his dad was a gray ghost?
Yes.
Yes.
Because that would be awesome.
So no.
And it's Adam West. Then it would be amazing.
This motherfucker is going to be making his suit the first episode of second season.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
Well, he'll probably
costume.
try a couple different personas first. Like he'll be...
Zorro mask at first.
Yeah.
Oh my fuck.
Maybe he'll put on the Robin outfit first. And that's how they get that.
There you go. Yep.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
like, oh, look, see, he thought of Robin long before he ever had a Robin.
Yeah. Seriously, fuck this show and its dirty asshole.
You were supposed to
it's
be
over.
good.
Fuck Gotham.
Fuck
Please
Gotham and
stop.
its dirty asshole. Let's get away from it forever and talk about Arrow. Let's do the flashbacks in 30 seconds or less. Tried this last week, didn't work.
Let's try.
Okay.
And
wait for the
go.
timer. Okay, the Alpha Omega is causing some chaos. Oliver and Maceo look for the cure. They think they found that shit with General Shreve, or whatever the fuck his name is. They take him back to the Keo to do the cure. It's too fucking late. The kid is dead. There's no cure. Now there's snipers outside ready to kill those fucks.
Oh shit, 19 seconds.
Ah, what happened?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was sleeping.
Next week, they're gonna fight some snipers.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I
China
dozed
or
off
something.
during that sentence. We're gonna have to talk about something good.
Hey, in present time, we find out that Maceo gave Raish the Alpha Omega to gain his favor and get entrance into the League of Assassins. And we see Oliver's what the fuck face. And you know, maybe he's not under the spell of fucking super training or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
Sleeping on the floor, don't do shit.
Get water splashed in your face and everything. Back in Star City, we see Diggle and Black Canary taking down bad guys. Diggle smash. He's pissed the fuck off, Hulk style.
I love it. Like I like Angry Diggle. I mean, like
No, I
it's-
did too, but it was like I'd just seen the Avengers. It was fucking Hulk style.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we get a scene where they're discussing how pissed off he is and he shouldn't beat the fuck out of criminals anymore. Oliver was my brother, and now he's dead to me. Yada yada. We get it. Thea is talking to Malcolm. She's gonna go visit Roy. And
Visit. She's gonna go have sexy
she's
time.
gonna go fuck his brains out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see it all over her face. She's like, I want me some Arsenal dick.
Arsenal dick. That sounds lethal.
That sounds tiny.
Kind of does. Because his arsenal wasn't very big. He had a bow and arrow.
Yep.
Anywho, yeah, I'll just talk about all the Thea Roy stuff all at once here, because it's not really related to the rest of the story. So she goes to visit him in whatever town he's in. They didn't say where it was. I like to pretend it's Bloodhaven or one of the other smaller DC cities.
Yeah.
Especially because he's going to eventually hook up with the Red Hood if you read the comics. So, he's now going by the name Jason, which I thought might have been a tie-in to the Red Hood. He works in an auto shop. Thea gives him his Arsenal suit and fucks his brains out. In between fuck sessions, she tells him about Oliver, which is good pillow talk. They fuck again, and when Thea falls asleep, Roy bails out, leaves the suit, and tells her, red is your color, bitch.
Speedy.
Exactly.
We knew we'd get there eventually.
Oh yeah, for sure. Probably next week, probably. Okay, so back with the Ra's al Ghul storyline. We're having dinner with the Al Ghuls and Oliver, and Ra's drops some fucking shit on Nissa. Hey, you make Oliver so crazy, you're gonna have his baby.
If only he'd said it that way
Right?
in his accent.
And Nissa gives, she's not down with that shit. Probably because she doesn't like dick.
She hasn't had the right one yet.
God damn. Rach tells an awkward story about her mother later in the episode and alludes to it here in this scene. Like, did he fucking rape her mom?
I didn't get that. I just got that he
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 was
said
like,
she was a
"You'll have-"
concubine.
Well, he said
So-
you're gonna have more choice in it than your mother did.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Or some words to that effect. I don't remember if that was the exact quote.
No, that was it. Now that you say that, I thought that he meant you're allowed to have more leeway than your mom did. I didn't. If that's it, man, I don't like that interpretation of Raish. Like, Raish is not a good
He's
dude,
an evil motherfucker.
but
He is pimping his daughter out.
well, like, I don't ever remember like the anything that like made him a womanizer in the comics. Do I have that wrong? Did I miss that somewhere?
He fucked bitches. I know that.
Yeah.
Like, through the fucking millennium. He's fucking bitches. God, there would have been so much hair back in the day.
I love that's what you go to. Time traveling, banging chicks. Man, they would have had some hedges.
Yeah, because 70s.
no
British.
deodorant in it.
Fuck.
Fuck. Go back like 200 years.
Yeah,
That's
'cause
why they had those big ass dresses.
when
too,
did
like,
shaven
early.
pits become a thing?
I don't know. Fucking thank God it was before I was born.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, all of this sexy talk upsets Oliver, and then he goes for a walk to clear his head. Guess what? Malcolm's outside waiting on him. It's been a plan all along to take down the league from the inside. Only problem is the shit's progressing a lot more quickly than either of them thought it would. So Oliver says they're going to need some help. And Malcolm correctly points out, your friends are pretty convinced you're a piece of shit now.
So now let's sing Kumbaya around this fire.
Yeah, so Malcolm goes back to Star City and meets up with Team Arrow. He's trying to convince them, hey, this has all been a plan. You need to help Oliver. They're not having any of that shit. Don't trust the fucking thing he's saying. I would say rightfully so. He brings in Tatsu to try to convince them, but guess what? Bitch, we don't know you.
Which was the right response.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they'd have just been like, oh, this Asian lady says it's cool. All right. Yeah, so she tries to convince them, and eventually they do get on board, basically because she's telling them about the Alpha Omega, and Diggle, I think, says something to the effect of, if there's even a mild chance of this happening in Star City, I'm gonna do my best to stop it. Felicity takes a little bit of extra convincing, with Tatsu telling Felicity that Oliver was talking about her, saying I saw that bitch last thing before I got kicked the fuck off a cliff. We get a scene with Felicity and Ray Palmer. He's working on his Atom suit. He says he has a little idea to improve the suit. Oh shit. Then he has Felicity sign some papers that we see are transfer of ownership papers for Palmer Technologies or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we'll get Queen Consolidated back next season.
Okay, sorry to backtrack a little bit here, because I had some major problems with the fact Oliver was, like, oh, surprise, I'm not really brainwashed. So what does that mean for that hallucination scene last week?
I don't know. I thought about that too.
Like, that's a huge plot hole.
Yeah.
Because like we saw what he saw and he killed Diggle in it, so is he like I'm fooling this hallucination?
Or maybe he's just stressed the fuck out. I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe
Sorry.
you're not supposed to think about that.
Probably not
That's
supposed
the
to think
correct
about that.
Yeah. Raish gets all gangsta with Nissa, grabs her by the fucking face and tells her, you're gonna marry that motherfucker because this is my will. Stop questioning it, bitch.
Again, if he would deliver that dialogue, still with his accent and everything, same actor.
I'm sorry, I just saw that like a scene from an NWA video when he grabbed her by the face.
Yeah.
Started talking trash.
Wouldn't you know?
Reached back like a pimp.
Smack the hoe.
That would be
Arrow.
amazing.
We could edit that on YouTube, right? And it'd get 1 million views.
Yes.
Because Nissa Nana Boo Boo is always hard. She come talking that trash.
I think Oliver would be the one that's always hard.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Come slinging
Which,
that dick.
fuck you, man. Like, randomly, I was walking in at work the other day, and someone said something about Arrow, and I'm like, Arrow's a Nana Boo Boo, and I giggled to myself. And I would not explain to them why.
Well, don't worry, because Team Arrow, Malcolm, and Tatsu fly to Nanny Boo Boo.
Oh, there it is.
The Atom shows up too. Takes down the plane supposedly carrying the virus. Tatsu and Maseo sword fight while the others fight the League. Tatsu fucking kills Maseo, and he thanks her.
That's what I'm going to do when someone kills me.
It's with a sword. It's probably the right answer.
Yeah.
Oliver and Raish break up the fight and reveal the plane was a decoy. They suspected that someone would try and stop this shit from happening. So they had a backup plan. They take the entire team captive, and Raish wants to know who the mole is. Of course, they blame Maseo since he's fucking dead and can't speak up for himself. Oliver has Diggle summoned to his quarters, tries to talk to him, but Diggle's not having any of that shit. He's super pissed off that Lila was used as bait in this whole plan. Meanwhile, Malcolm, of course, fucking turns on Team Arrow, goes and tells Raish that it was Oliver. Oliver denies it, says, fuck man, I've alienated all my friends, I have nothing to return to if I am playing you. So Raish he's gonna fucking make Oliver prove it, and they go back to the quarters or the chamber or prison or whatever where everybody's being kept. Throw the fucking virus in the room, of course it shatters and is unleashed, and Oliver locks them the fuck in there as they all plead with him. The room is sealed up, and then we get the wedding, which actually fucking takes place. Nissa tries to stab Oliver, but he's like, oh shit, blocks that sword, I'll be stabbing you later. Looks like they're married. And then our last scene of the episode, Team Arrow laying around looking all dead and shit, which we know they're not, but yeah, that's what they want us to think for a week.
They can get it annulled if they didn't consummate it.
I don't think there's a lot of danger of it being consummated.
That's what I'm saying. Not to mention, who says that Nana Nabubu law applies in the United States?
I don't think it does.
They may not be legally married, so they can probably get out of that pretty easy.
I don't know. I think that would be held up in the Supreme Court.
Well, there's also, married
Banana
under false
Nabubu
pretenses. So, like, he could, disclaim that, hey, look, she doesn't dig the D. And they could probably use that as terms for divorce, too.
But did you give it to her good enough?
Like, I didn't give
That's
it to...
your fault.
Yeah. Like, look at her. You couldn't make that happen?
Yeah. I was too busy thinking about this bitch, points at Felicity. I get it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you should have wrangled them both.
But
It's the fucking Arrow, dude.
But it's still steak. You couldn't enjoy it like a slightly less cut of steak? Fuck, you got me there.
Oh no, not if the other steak is Felicity.
I don't know. I think this is pretty hot.
I could make that work. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think I'd have to make that work.
So, this episode was, in my opinion, it was a step in the right direction, better than the last couple. However, we're still just taking so goddamn long to get to the obvious conclusion, which is, I'm sure, coming next week. By the previews, it looks like Oliver and Raish are finally going to fucking fight one-on-one, and I'm assuming this time Oliver wins.
Yep.
Do you think we're but is there now they're going to be this long half a season fallout next season where Diggle doesn't trust Oliver anymore?
Sure.
Because I don't like that. I don't feel like that's necessary. I could be wrong.
I mean, maybe it'll be revealed that Diggle's been playing along. He knew about it too.
I'd be surprised the way he went all, again, like you said, Diggle smash.
Yeah, I know, but maybe he's a good actor. Malcolm said they're not good actors. Maybe he's all like, bitch, wait till you find out.
I did think that was funny. Like if, that was ad-libbed or something, just because it'd be like, here's a jab, just kidding.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if he just went, I ain't even mad though, and he pulled off and he has the Green Lantern costume on and flies away.
Yeah.
Then I would just have to wash my entire living room because it'd be covered in the trifecta.
Gross.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Primetime Super Friends. If you like what you heard, go hit up iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Write some nice words, too. I know you're capable. Maybe.
I like to think our fans are literate.
I don't know.
Leave it in there. You can find us on the web at pubtalkpodcast.com. You can find all the info about this show and our other better, funnier parent show, I guess is what you would call it, Pub Talk Podcast. Find us on Twitter at Primetime Super, or you can find us each individually. I'm at Legendary Jeremy. John?
I'm at Raging Leprechaun.
Michael?
At the African 81.
And suck on some balls. Until next time, stay super bitches.
Na. Bye.
My asshole hurts.
My anaconda don't want none
I can't believe I forgot about that.
of your hurting asshole.
Thank God. And thanks to Cisco's roughly 12th movie reference, this time being about Jurassic Park, we see ripples in the water and know that either Jeremy's wang is present or Grodd's about to lay the smack down.
You feel good that that's now associated with your dick?
I am so okay with it.
I just hate if we go see Jurassic World this summer and they call back to that. I'm gonna be like, damn it.